Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another Shapes 2 episode. I believe we are finally moving on to the next milestone. So let's jump in and have a good look at what we'll be building towards in this video. Now, after a very long time, we can finally press this unlock button. And we're looking at pins. So this is the new building that we're just unlocking now. And what this does is it puts little dots effectively underneath your shape when it goes through this machine, and you can do it multiple times. So we see now, sort of, you can kind of see it. Can I zoom in here? We've got dots on dots on dots at the end of that line there. Let's just have a quick look at the more information page. So this is important to note as well. If you keep pressing the pins onto the bottom, eventually you'll get rid of whatever is on top. And in this example case, it's the circle. So the circle comes off and all you're left with is 4 sets of the pins. Good to keep in mind. All right, well, that looks familiar, doesn't it? I do believe, yeah, we've done this already back in Milestone. How does the numbering go? This milestone. So we've got oh, but this time it has pins. Okay. Let's check out the next one. And it looks like we've just layered or even slotted in another set of this cyan nuclear flower into the gaps here. And it's not combining like we would usually expect it to because of the pins underneath this first one. And I imagine the same is the case here. Yes, just with a different color. And then finally, right. So what's going on there? I think you're simply just stacking this yellow shape on top of the cyan, but you're doing it in a particular rotation. Yep, okay, that looks pretty straightforward. So let's get started, I think first by coloring our shapes. So we're really only going to need 2 flower shapes in total, because we have conveniently set up our blueprints in such a way, where is it, that we get 2 nuclear shapes per 1 input, sorry. So the input gets split into 2, and then we also, so we only need 50% of an input in each of these sections here, but we get 100% belt rate of each of those. But we're not doing that first. We'll leave this to the side because we want to paint before we cut, so we minimize our paint usage. So let's go ahead and get some painting modules in here. So we've got one over here, and let's bring the other one across as well. So we need that flower again, like so, and then this one will be our cyan, which we have right here. So let's bring that across, and then the second one will be the yellow. I'm still really digging the automatic funneling system that the devs have implemented. That's a very nice quality of life. Okay, so after coloring, of course, we want to then cut our shapes in two. Now these are both going to be in the same orientation. We have the teal one in the orientation that is shown already, but the yellow one is going to be also in this orientation. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate it. And it doesn't matter which way we rotate it, it'll come out this way, whether that's clockwise or anti-clockwise because of its shape. So we'll let that run. And of course, now that we've unlocked the pins, we're going to have to build a pin blueprint. Luckily for us, it's very easy to do. So we've got our rotating platform here. We just simply copied all of that over to the left. That's not the left, that's the right. But we're removing, of course, all of the rotations. That's not what we want. We've got the pin pusher unlocked now. So we'll be throwing that down instead. Like so. And then we just select all of this to copy. And then we move it up and move it up, replacing all three layers with the pins. So that's just a single pin. That's usually all you want. We'll go ahead and save that blueprint. So found the icon, so we've put that in here, and we're just doing it once on this island. And we'll throw that. I don't know exactly which folder to put it in yet, but we'll just put it in Hexagonal for now. So we've built our blueprint, we've saved our blueprint. Let's go ahead and throw this in. Now, some of the astute viewers here will already recognize that we do not need both sets of these to be pinned, and you'd be right. However, just to get through these first two sections as quickly as possible, we'll just pin both of them, and then we can at least get 3/4 of our shapes funneled straight into our hub here. We don't have the room just yet. We have plenty of research points. So what I might do is go to upgrades, go to our vortex inputs, which is our hub. Now, in case you're unfamiliar, we currently have 4 inputs here for our vortex, and that correlates to this number here. And when we unlock it once to 6, all of a sudden we have 1 extra on each side. Now we don't really want that, we want them all to be unlocked. So if we just keep unlocking like so, now all of a sudden we have way more opportunity to funnel our extra inputs in, which means once we set up here, we can start entering this fourth belt in. So let's go ahead and quickly do that. So I've just put in these 4 lanes up here, and then I'll copy that and increase the levels, get rid of that and have this come in here instead. And we'll have the 4th belt come in like so. Now, while this is all going on, we might as well fill up our hub. So let's copy that again. And we're going to rotate and paste down here. No, better yet, let's flip it and rotate it twice. And we'll just put it in this quadrant. Now, we can copy the whole quadrant and then rotate it, throw it in here. We obviously don't need all of these lanes yet, but we're just future-proofing our hub, our vortex. So now all of a sudden we have 8 potential inputs into our hub. I can't count, that's not 8, is it? 3, 6. We've got another 6 over here, so that's 12 in total. There we go. Now we're just playing the waiting game at the moment for these to fill out. And while we do that, let's go back to our milestones. Let's... Wait, no, I can't pin that. Apparently you will be able to. When this releases outside of early access, you'll be able to pin these milestones, but for now, you just commit them to memory. It's not too difficult, so we're just having... I've already discussed this, let's not do that again. We want that rotated, and then on top of this. I believe these are doing the rotating, so we'll copy. I'm just making the draft up here. So this right lane is going to be rotated, not pinned. And then it's going to... No, it's going straight into a stacker. And then we'll have this lane also go in. And then we can funnel all of that. Now the same is going to be true for our yellow shape. And our yellow shape is done, so let's do that first. We'll get rid of this pin. We just won't rotate here. So we'll then send these all the way down along. That's now pinned. We'll do the same here, so we'll copy this part. And now we should end up with this shape. They're being rotated, being pinned, and being stacked on top. Perfect. Now, our sign was a little bit behind because we didn't initially have that fourth input ready, but now we're good. So delete this and all of these, and throw in that instead. Don't need all this random stuff anymore. And we can throughput that in straight away. Let's check how we're doing. Perfect. Alright. Now while we wait for this, what's our last piece? Another simple addition. We're simply stacking the yellow on top of the cyan, and we're doing that, I believe, so we want both the bottom pieces of each of these shapes to line up with each other and the top two pieces to line up. So we're going to have to rotate one of them. So we'll just copy the rotator and we'll slot that in eventually. And then we will use another stacker to stack the yellow on top, and that'll be it. Pretty simple milestone. Let's leave that to run. I was potentially thinking about doing a side task, but I'm going to try out a new video format. We'll just keep it short and just keep it straight for this next milestone. So I'm just going to pause the recording here, and I'll come back to you guys once we need to implement the final section of this build. Thanks for watching so far. Hope this has been helpful. I've just realized just how much they want from this milestone. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do one of these ones. Copy, press F to flip, rotate twice, and all of a sudden, wait, yeah, that looks right. We have a second one. Now, we're possibly going to need, or we're definitely going to need, a new station for our flowers. Let's see if we can slot in a temporary one. Be a bit cheeky. Now, I'm not sure if our shape throughput is going to keep up with that indefinitely, but it's worth a shot, I think. Now we just need to figure out, we want the teal here and the yellow here. Okay. Let's remove that. And obviously we don't want this heading to nowhere. So why don't we... We'll have this one start working on the final shape immediately, because these ones are close to being done, but the final shape needs 60,000. It's a lot. Oop. We are cutting that. There we go. So this comes in here, like so. And we're jumping straight in there. Alrighty. That should be done. And we'll fix that up shortly. Oh, I think also, since we've unlocked this milestone, finally we've now unlocked this section here, which lets us continue to get rewards from the previous milestone, which is this one here. And we've been delivering this for some time now. So let's go ahead and claim a few research points and platforms. That's a lot. Whoa, okay. How good is that? We've got quite a few. We've got delivered 41k in total of those shapes, and that's just from having a hub over here. And the train network, for those who haven't seen the previous videos, I've staggered some train stations to release at different intervals, and then they're picking up the made shape from this hub, which is effectively the same as what we've been working on already. We're just out here in the middle of nowhere. This happens to be close to a bunch of colors and shapes. Let's go back to our home. And we'll be fixing that up very shortly indeed. That looks... Does that look right? Yeah, I think so. We'll soon find out. Alright, we've finished these two now, and it looks like we're counting up, which means this second factory setup is working. Let's remove all of this, so I can fit this in. Now, before we get too comfy, it looks great right now, everything's moving along. However, because we've added a fourth station for the flowers, our last couple, well, that one's almost running dry, and this one is completely dry. So that's not going to be making our shape for very much longer. Is there a quick fix to this? I won't bore you guys with me looking, but I'll come back to you when I find something. I've just had a look at our shape extraction station already, and it's not a matter of not having enough shapes available, it's a matter of not having enough trains delivering those shapes. So in order to fix that, just add more trains. that should fix the supply issue. Hopefully. Okay, we've left it running for a little while now. And as we can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 stations now. And most importantly, pardon me, we can see that the 4th station also has a good amount of the flower shape. So just adding those four extra trains onto this railway has solved our problem. I can see I've got heaps of trains now, just coming along, and when these are full, they're delivering, well, pardon me, they're delivering the shapes down the track. Oh my goodness, guys. I've made a mistake. Yeah, we're making the shape, and I'm really sorry that I caught this so late. What is best practice when you make a new factory is to have a look at your output. Are you seeing what's wrong here? These aren't full belts. These are not going at our current maximum of 150. So I've had a look through our factory and I've found the very silly mistake that I've made. For whatever reason, I just assumed that the pin pusher was at the same ratio as a rotator, but as you can see, it is not. So each of these lanes actually requires 3 of these, which, as you can see, we've got a full belt up the top here, but not a full belt down the bottom. So I'm going to have to go ahead and edit this, save over the blueprint, and then replace the other pins, which are going to be here and here, and then of course the same on this side in the reverse. So let's do the first one together. We're getting rid of all of these. In fact, we'll let it keep running. We'll just copy and paste it over here and fix it up, because it's not like it's broken per se, it's just slow. So each lane is going to need 1 more. So we'll put 2 on the end here and 2 on the end here. Now we'll delete the routing. Like so. Just copy that. Flip and rotate. And then do the same on this side. Copy, flip, rotate. Okay, so now each lane has 3 pin pushes. Let's go ahead and grab all of that. Copy. Remove this. And remove this. Go to the 2nd level and paste, and the 3rd level and paste. With that in mind, with that complete, sorry, let's select this whole platform and hit copy, so it's now on our clipboard, and then we'll go to our blueprints, find the pin push. Okay, don't click on the pin pusher, don't do that. So we'll copy it again. We'll find the pin pusher blueprint, right click it, and click replace. So now it should have the replaced contents there. And another important step is also to hit save, otherwise it won't actually replace it. Now, when we select the pin pusher, it's going to be the new one that we've just created. So let's go ahead and replace these inefficient designs. It's hardly worth it now because we're almost complete, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, and in a short minute, we've just finished all of our Milestone 6 shapes. Sorry again about the mistake with the pins. I'll make sure to pin a comment on this video when I release it, letting you guys know ahead of time that there was a mistake. I wouldn't want anyone following me along and making the same mistake and either not getting to the end of the video at all or just waiting unnecessarily. Let's check how fast we're going. And this looks like it's finally fixing itself now. And the other one, because I cut and replaced the pins, there'll be a gap here, but that should come good eventually. I'm going to see that later though, because there's such a long distance, I think. But here we have, that's what we want to see, a full belt. Fantastic. Alright guys, well apart from that, everything else went quite smoothly. This was a relatively easy shape to make. We just needed a lot of flowers. Now that this is running at full capacity, we probably would have started running out again, which means, let's just go to our shapes real quickly. This seems to still have an amount there. So it could possibly get away with adding just another couple trains, 2 to 4 trains. Oh yeah, it's got heaps. So how many is this anyway? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? That's 7, 14. There's 15 trains. So if your rail looks anything like mine, you probably want 17 to 19. And if you want to play it safe, you can add a 4th section of miners to your flowers to keep up with the demand. But we're finished with that. I won't delete this just yet because we do, I think, yes, have this shape for our operator levels. Which means, I mean, I probably won't keep this for too long because we need this space for doing our side tasks, but we might be able to transfer all of this design somewhere else. In any case, I'm rambling now. Thank you for joining me for Milestone 6. I hope you guys are enjoying the game so far in this new Hexagonal playthrough. Until next time, have a blessed week and bye for now.